What's up, T?
What's going on, Jay?
The T part of the JT. So today we're taking it on the road. Have you noticed?
I've noticed. What's going on, world? It's the roll episode.
Yeah, man. We're just gonna get in the car and we're gonna roll. So, my thoughts was before we even get into talking about what it is we're supposed to talk about today, because we've decided it's aliens
and going green
and going green. But before we even talk about that, I want to the best way to get to know somebody, or a really good way to get to know somebody, is to travel with them.
Okay.
Right? But I have a rule in my car.
What's the rule?
You either drive,
or
you navigate,
or what else? A ride.
Shut the hell up. So today you're going to navigate. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little experiment while we gab.
All right.
I'm going to tell you where I want to go, and you're going to get me there, and I'm not going to turn on any maps or nothing, and we're going to see how well this works out while we have a conversation.
I don't have no problems. I don't ever get lost where I'm going. So.
See, okay, so geography is my kryptonite.
Oh man.
So whenever we go on the photo trips,
yeah,
that's kind of coincidental.
I get it.
I ain't the one telling people where to go.
I got you.
I'm following Chris, who's got even with a GPS. I think Samuel L. Jackson should do voices for the GPS saying, "You missed the MF turn. Turn the MF around, you stupid."
Yeah, I can see that.
That would be funny, right?
That would be
All right,
funny.
so here we go. So the first place I want to go is, do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
Do you like, if you go to like a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks or something like that, you can get something?
I like Starbucks a little bit. You know?
All right. Get me to a place that serves coffee or a drink that we can both like.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
All right, let's do it.
But first is go around this car and keep it straight. You'll make a left out of here.
The going around the car was a piece of important information right there.
Yeah, definitely. I want to ask that.
When I was a kid.
So what kind of coffee do you like?
Oh, I drink it black, but I think if we go to a place that has it, I think I want like a chocolate mocha something
You want
hot.
a short trip or a long trip?
Oh, we need to make it a long trip, but I would like to go like over Mount Pleasant Bridge or something like that. So we could head that direction if you want to.
Make a left? Oh, okay. Make a left.
Making a left.
I was going to take us to the Somerville side.
That'd be fine. Anywhere you want to go. You are the navigator. I am the pilot. And that's how this relationship's going to work for the next hour or so.
Right, yeah.
By the way, since we're doing this a little different, if you see that red light stop blinking, tell me.
Oh, well, I got you.
Okay, cool. Because that means we're out of battery or something.
All right.
So now.
Make it right at the stop sign.
Cool. Aliens, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So that was your idea. You want to talk about aliens. So I'm all about some aliens.
Well, you know, the government had just had that speech with everyone about
the hearings.
Yeah, but letting everybody know that it's a possibility.
I watched every second of it.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
So what did you think about that?
I think it's crazy that they're saying it out loud. Whether it's true or not, we got people saying it out loud.
Right.
And that's a first. It's kind of funny too, because Nancy Mace, who was one of the people asking the questions, is what county are you in?
I'm in Berkeley County.
So she's my congressperson.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Charleston.
Yeah. And so that was kind of neat to see that she was involved in all of that.
Right. And they was asking some really detailed questions like, do you have information? You know they always answer this. It's kind of highly classified. We can't really give you that answer. I can tell you in the back room, but I can't tell you.
That was interesting.
You know what I mean? Because they don't want to frighten the public. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but there's also stuff that's outside of his. I mean, what was cool was he says, "You take me into a secure room, and I'll tell you everything you want to know."
Right. I feel like they don't want to allow the public to get the public in a frenzy. You know what I mean? Because I just look at it like, man's been on this planet for a long time, and it has to be something else. There's so many different theories and conspiracies to this, that, and the third, and they mentioned them in the Bible. They mentioned them in different, and like
all kinds of cultures.
Exactly. Like the Mayans got pictures of the UFOs on their walls. The Egyptians as well. You seen
the one where they had the little tiny airplane? It was a carving, a little stone carving or something. It looks like an airplane.
The temple?
I don't remember where it was, but it looked like it had little bitty wings and the like vertical tail fin.
Right.
And it had what looked like a pilot sitting in the cockpit. Now, we can't say it's necessarily an airplane, obviously, because
And I believe life.
It's interesting.
Life, how you say, life imitates art. You know what I mean? So like,
Mhm.
if they live in that and they seeing that, they're gonna put it in their art.
Oh yeah,
They're
definitely.
gonna write the
Where am I going?
in the scriptures.
Left or right?
We're gonna make it left.
Making a left.
Sorry, I was getting caught.
I
in
know.
conversation.
See, this is the experiment. This is why this is
Uh,
going to be fun.
So it's definitely like it's kind of crazy to me because if life imitate arts and you have people in different civilizations recording these phenomenons that they're seeing in the sky and putting it in sculptures, putting it on walls, putting it in text, it has to be some kind of truth to it because they kind of want to show their experience of their world. You know what I mean?
Or let me ask you a question: is this art that we're seeing not necessarily a representation of something that was real, but they are doing what we also do, which is make stuff up for fun?
Okay, well, that's like movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, like you have the movies nowadays. Yeah, we don't see a Men in Black. We don't see Avatar and all these kind of things going on around us per se, because the naked eye don't really see, what you're really supposed to see. That's like maybe we were too dumb, deaf, and blind to really see what's out there.
Oh well,
if that makes any kind of sense. It's like the spirits.
We're definitely egotistical enough to be blind.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
You get
all
your
of
left
these
lane as well.
left lane.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is it possible? For example, if you go to an art gallery and somebody paints, a person with 6 arms as a representation of what they were thinking at the time,
Right.
maybe it's this painting represents being too busy, right? And they paint a person with 6 arms. Well, that's not a representation of something real, but 1,000 years from now, maybe somebody looks back at that piece of art and goes, wow, there must have been people with 6 arms back then. I'm
Right. thinking
thinking that maybe a whole lot of the stuff is just coincidental, that it looks like something that we now think of. So I'm not saying that aliens aren't real. I'm saying some of the quote unquote evidence that we have may not be actually evidence.
I understand where you're coming from. Like,
Yeah.
I say my coworker always says, nobody knows everything. Like nobody knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think it would be, like I said earlier, just a second ago, I think it would be too egotistical to think that we aren't the only things in the
Right.
in the
It has
entire
to be
world that can
something.
think.
You're gonna make a left at this light.
Left at this life.
Yeah. And so you have to have a give and take. Like, what I'm saying? It has to be a little bit of belief and a little bit of not belief because, no one knows what's out there. That's like the bottom of the ocean. Nobody knows what's down there.
Mm-hmm.
But
You remember that? You remember that phrase? The philosophical phrase, "I think, therefore I am."
yeah.
That's not really the whole phrase. Well, there's another. I think that was portion of it, but I think there was another guy who expounded on it, who said, "I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I am."
Okay.
So, in my opinion, thinking is not necessarily the end-all be-all. The thing is, you have to think hard enough and about something long enough, and observe things around
Right.
you enough so that you doubt what you thought yesterday.
And I believe, like, if you're not looking for something, you're not gonna find it.
Well, that's
So-
true.
And
But if you do find it, it would be in the
but
last
if you
place you
do-
looked.
and if you do find it, it's gonna be in the last place you look. Or when you find it, you know what I mean, nobody's gonna want to listen to you because they're so into what they got going on. So you'll probably be the only person believing that you found something.
And those people are called conspiracy theorists.
Which I am. You know what I mean? Which
me.
I'm a big conspiracy. I'm like the black version of Jesse Ventura.
So
You know what I mean?
why do you? I mean,
Why
there's
do-
got to be some that you are interested in or that you find
Well, I
fun to
just-
think about, but you don't really think are real.
I
right?
just think that I love facts and scientifical. Like, to me, you got to prove something to me.
Oh
for me
yeah,
to believe
definitely,
it.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, how does that jive with being a conspiracy theorist then? Because conspiracy theorists generally are seen as people who are a little bit nuts, right?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
isn't the world already crazy? So I'm kind of like saying in a crazy world. I could be, you know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of. So you think of really great artists, really great musicians, really great thinkers, really
Or
great
crazy.
scientists. Most
Or-
of them aren't quite right. There's something just a little off with, they're either introverts or they, socially
Awkward.
awkward or whatever.
You have, I think so. I'm glad you brought that up. My daughter just had a autism test.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And she got diagnosed as it's like she has a
High functioning.
high functioning autism. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
So-
right.
And they call it, I can't, it's on the tip of my tongue, but yeah. So it's not that she's not smart. It's just that she gets like blinded by stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
I get it.
she gets too much in her head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But she's
yeah.
still functioning at a high level. She's an AB honor roll student, plays in the band.
That's funny
you
to
know.
me. Not funny, but it's curious to me that so my children also are high functioning, very high functioning, wonderful, good-hearted. But my son, like, he's a great drummer,
Right.
and he can build the Titanic out of Legos when he was a kid. He's in his
Right.
20s now, but he struggles with math, or he struggles with these other things that are non-tangibles, height, weight, distance, things like that you can't put your finger on. But he's so good in so many other things. And the same thing with my daughter. My daughter leaned toward speech, grammar. She types sentences. It's crazy. When she was even young.
Right.
She's in her 20s now. But why is it that we now don't facilitate what a kid is really good at instead of saying that they are deficient in other areas? We should funnel them toward the thing they're really
So
good
you
at,
feel like
and
they
not label anybody. like
Okay,
that.
yeah. You just feel like we should embrace their talents and not pay too much attention to anything that's going to be a negative hindsight on them. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
where they can question stuff about like that, because it can get in someone's head that
Right.
I might have ADHD, and I might use that. I blame that ADHD on why I'm not this and why I'm not that. If that makes any kind of sense, like
No, absolutely.
you start beating up the problem.
Absolutely.
So I agree with you. I think you should encourage your child talents, and because I said I don't think you need to pay close attention to that test, because you don't want to box yourself in.
Don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree.
I ain't never see a fish climb a tree.
Exactly. It's going to fail that test every time, but you put it in the water, it's going to go like gangbusters, right? So don't judge a kid by a test that you passed, because it's not the same. We're missing out on opportunities, I feel.
Okay.
We're a lot of, like I said
And
at the beginning, a lot of people who are geniuses are also just a little off.
Right.
So if we can figure out, like Elon Musk, he self-admitted he has some sort of deficiency of some sort, but the dude's taking us to Mars.
I think it's OCD with him.
I don't know what it is. See, okay, so
Or he's like one of those guys that can't be wrong. He has to figure out the answers.
Oh well, yes, that's a drive that is rare.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't go that far.
Have you ever been around a really smart person that has to know everything?
Yeah.
And it might rub you the wrong.
Both of my parents.
And they might rub you the wrong way because they don't know how to communicate well, because all they know is how to be right or try to be right.
Gotcha.
And those, don't you realize you ever was right with the person, proved someone wrong that was super intelligent, and they can't really take it?
That's called cognitive dissonance. It actually causes a psychological pain
Right.
whenever you are forced to make a decision between what you thought was true and what you just found out was true.
Okay.
And if you can make that leap to
Right.
change your own mind
It's a big
enough times,
to understand, have an understanding.
it stops being painful and starts being pleasurable.
Right, because it's like you're optimistic on other things. Make you think a little further, a little bit.
Right, because if you look at it as I was wrong all, if you don't look at it as I was wrong all this time, instead look at it as I just found out this neat thing, right?
Yeah.
And if you can turn it into that mindset, then you will search for the neat thing constantly.
All right.
And that becomes that drive that you mentioned about Elon.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's segue back to the aliens
Aliens.
real quick, because I feel like
I want to know how far away the coffee is.
I was about to tell you, after this light, you're going to go make another left.
Okay.
As you see the Walmart entrance,
Okay.
you'll make a left into that, and then it should be right there.
Cool.
But to segue back to the aliens, I feel like that's what the government was trying to do by having that discussion, because it's already like evident. The government knows what time it is. They have Roswell. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They have
at least they know what Roswell really was.
Right. And Area 51, you know what I mean? And stuff like that, But it's all in ancient texts. If you just do your studying and it's pretty much in the Bible, the Nephilim, the Anunnakis and all these other little things. It's a lot of information out there, but you just have to be willing to learn, to open your mind to
Right.
what might be out there that you might not know. You know what I mean? So it's like just like psychics and ghosts. You know, these are the things that you don't see on the outside world, but who's to say that they're not real? Who's to say that someone that has telepathic powers, you know what I mean, superhuman powers?
The military was doing stuff with telepathy and being able.
Oh,
Was
yep.
it what is the other one?
they
talk
was
about?
remember I was trying to find the names of it. So this was the government was doing MK Ultra.
Okay. Yeah.
When they was taking the kids and using the kids that was super highly intelligent and trying to do telekinesis with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we also spoke about Germany
Mm-hmm.
and how Germany was using psychics to meditate and have conversation with aliens to build their German spaceships in the 40s.
Yep. And
So-
then there was there is a physics principle right now, and I can't remember what it's called, of course.
It's okay.
But they said that if you can split this atom and separate the atoms, it doesn't matter how far away they are.
There, come back.
If you do one thing to this one, it will mirror it over here.
Okay.
So they're talking about basically telepathy,
Right.
or or communication on a level, instantaneous level, no matter how far away it is. So what we're talking about is being able to communicate without any delay to any star system, to any universe.
Right.
If we
And
can,
it's almost
if we
like-
can get the.
It's almost like if everybody had the concentration of a monk. Imagine what you could do with your mind.
Seen those dudes stand on their fingers? Like they do the cross leg and they stand on, they
Yeah.
lift themselves up, or they stand underneath the.
My principle
Man,
and going
that's
into
crazy.
this week, so that's about aliens.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go too far on that because you also talk about going green.
Well, yeah,
And,
yeah, but
my-
I think they're combined.
What
I think they have one
you
something to
think
do
you
with
think
each other.
what you think they have some one and two to do with each. Well, I believe in the body that we don't really appreciate the body as humans because especially being in America, because we are in a rat race to keep life going to work, school, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yes, we get
we
into
we
the
really
gerbil
don't
wheel,
take care of
the
ourselves.
hamster wheel.
We really don't take care of ourselves the way we should. As I was having a conversation, like they tell me, like I do plasma sometimes, and they was
Where am I
telling me, right, sorry, you caught me. Yeah, you got me. But I did tell them, if you come in, you make a right.
You did tell me.
Watch
that,
out,
yeah.
watch out for this curve.
Yep,
All right,
yep.
boom, and slow it up, and it's gonna be to the down the way. But
Yeah.
I got donate plasma sometimes, so drinking water is a lot. They want it to be, we are like 70%, 80%
Mhm.
water, and so you should always stay hydrated and stuff. But we don't usually get the real water that we need in
We're
our
drinking
body,
Coke.
huh?
We're drinking Coca-Cola.
Right. But I'm talking about in general. Like they say, drink a lot of water, but your body don't. It's gonna go up past the stop sign. Your body don't retain the water minerals that you get from H2O. You need fruit water. You need water from watermelon. You get what I'm saying? You need water
Oh.
from kiwis.
Well, but that water is just carrying
It's H3.
other nutrients. That
Exactly,
Are in it.
but that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
right,
That's
right.
but you don't get the minerals from
So
water.
what is it? So what does this have to do with the going green and the aliens part? What does
this
the water
is
do?
it's more so just taking care of your body. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if all I'm saying water is just, you don't get that from water. You get your real nutrition from fruits with the water. You only keep drinking water to hydrate yourself, but water doesn't really bring you no true nutrients.
Well, so Jordan Peterson is on a steak only diet, steak and water. So no fruit, no vegetable, none of that.
Okay,
And he said he's feeling better than he ever has before. Now I think everybody's different.
right.
No pun intended. Every body is different. So I don't think that makes a hill of beans difference to
Right. It's coming up. You should see.
what am I looking for?
You're looking for a Starbucks,
Oh, Starbucks already.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go through the drive-thru or something.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, we'll be sitting here for a minute. Do you know what you want?
I'm gonna get a venti latte.
Venti latte.
That's a good. Oh, I'm gonna change my mind once I see it.
Okay. That's fine. So, the reason that
So the
when you said let's talk about aliens, and I said okay, let's talk about going green as well.
right.
I think they're connected,
You
right?
think
Because
that-
I think that if there are aliens, and I'm not saying that there aren't,
right.
and I'm not saying there aren't, but some people have surmised that our going green has brought them here because we started using nuclear instead of fossil fuels. And when we started blowing up the bombs
Right.
for the wars,
Right.
and then we started, making nuclear reactors and everything,
Right.
that was like a magnet
To them.
What- to them. Number one, we were about to destroy ourselves.
Right. And I think
I
that's
don't think that
they
aliens,
don't want us. They want us to be able to they want harmony. If they could, if anything, they don't want it. They would have been conquered this planet and took over if they wanted.
unless they're sort of like Star Trek, where it was, one of the main rules is you're not allowed to interfere.
Right.
So, and that's why they're not putting themselves out there. But we're also assuming
Right.
that they give a crap
Right. Right. Exactly.
if they even know we're
Even
here.
care, or if they even care. But if they see us about to build nuclear power bombs and atomic bombs to destroy us,
Yeah,
it would make them want to shut off the silos so
Right.
we wouldn't kill each other.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So the whole purpose for the universe is to get along.
right.
You know what I mean? So we can have a young black man and a young white man having a discord in the car talking about how to make the world better.
Yes,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
You know that Jesus and his disciples had Hondas.
no, I did not.
They were all in one accord.
Ha. That's crazy. That was a
Yes,
joke.
I did that. I did that right there. So the thing that fascinates me more about aliens than them actually being here or not, or being exist or not,
The elusiveness of them.
no, the U.S. government, the either keeping it quiet, like if there aren't any, why aren't you telling us there aren't any?
Right.
I mean, they say there isn't, but then they do this Area 51 stuff, and then they do this other stuff. Did you see that Aaron Rodgers came out and said he saw one?
No, but I.
Holy smokes! I'll give you this. You need to go watch the. You need to go watch the video. Aaron
Okay.
Rodgers says he saw it. He was in
Okay.
his backyard or something. I'm probably gonna tell it wrong, but I'll get the high points right. Him and his buddies, a couple of other football buddies, I think, were standing in the backyard, and he said something out of Independence Day happened,
Right.
and this huge craft came out of the sky with fire and smoke
Right.
and took off and went off into the distance. They said they stood there for about 30 seconds without talking, completely stunned. And then U.S. jets went chasing it.
I
And
believe
he's
him.
come out and said it.
I believe him because I've seen one like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, sitting.
Oh, you're going to talk about aliens 3 times with me already, and you ain't never said that you saw one yourself?
I seen
You keeping that in your daggum pocket.
Yeah, I was.
That's not right.
Just sitting on the porch smoking one day. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Me and my friend.
Uh-huh.
I got backup and receipts for it. If you ever don't believe me, my friend named Kalen Cooper. Definitely, we was chilling.
All right, pause. What you want?
All right, let me get a.
Ooh, you said.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for choosing Starbucks. My name is Lily. How can I help you?
I would like mocha coffee, please.
Ours like a brewed coffee with some mocha in it, or
Yep.
like a mocha latte.
Cafe mocha, I think is what it's called there.
Gotcha.
And then what do you want, sir?
I'm gonna just get a.
Real quick, pardon to interrupt. Is that hot or iced?
Hot,
And then what size?
Let me get the.
regular, tall, whatever. I don't know.
Let me get a caramel ribbon crunch.
Caramel ribbon crunch.
Of course, what size did you want that?
Venti.
Venti.
No, I'm gonna get a tall.
Tall.
Let me get a tall.
Change it to a tall.
Tall.
Do you want Ventis are large, as tall as are small?
I know. Let me get a tall.
Tall.
Got it.
Cool.
Anything else for you?
That's it.
All right, that'll be 12:10. I'll see you at the window. Thank you very much.
That was less expedient than we could have. We're not practiced.
Okay.
I don't know Starbucks.
Am I paying for my surprise?
No, I'm paying for your surprise.